Hey there! In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about why your personal statement shouldn't just be an adversity statement, and why you can actually talk about more than just the obstacle that you've overcome. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the difference between a personal statement and just an adversity statement. For those of you who are new, my name is Sydney Montgomery, and I'm the owner and founder of Montgomery Admissions Consulting, where I provide personalized college counseling and law school admissions consulting. Growing up in a Jamaican and military household, education was so important to my family. As the first lawyer in my family, and a graduate of Princeton and Harvard Law School, I am passionate about breaking down generational barriers, helping my students step confidently into their future, and building communities for life. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about why a personal statement and an adversity statement sometimes get confused, and people feel like the only thing law school wants to hear about is what big challenge in your life you've overcome. And there are so many things wrong with this mindset. And in this video, I'm going to tackle the 3 main reasons why you shouldn't just talk about overcoming some big challenge. The first is that sometimes the purpose of a personal statement gets lost when we just tell an adversity statement. The second is that it's too easy to tell someone else's story and not to center ourselves. And the third is that we actually forget to talk about our strengths and our skills and all of the things that make us a great law school applicant. So the first point is that you need to remember the purpose of a personal statement. And now, I know that there are many different ways to write a personal statement, and different people have different opinions. But I always say the safest way to go is to make sure that at the end of your personal statement, you have conveyed why you want to go to law school and why now. That doesn't have to be answered as explicitly as I just stated it. But by the end of the personal statement, the law school admissions committee reader should know, yes, she passionately wants to go to law school. Yes. He's thought about his timing, and this is the right time. This is the next logical step on his career journey. Please don't use those phrases in your personal statement. This is the next logical step on my career journey. You should work on showing and not telling, and I talk about that in another video. The personal statement should tie in several different pieces of your application together. It should be the glue that holds together your resume and your letters of recommendation. There should be a narrative, a complete, compelling story woven throughout your application components. And the personal statement is a great way to tie those pieces of the application together. Now, are you really interested in environmental law? Are you passionate about criminal justice reform? What is it that's bringing you to law school? What's your why? That should be so easily conveyed in your personal statement. I shouldn't have any questions about what is driving you to go to law school by the time I'm done reading your statement. Now, this is where I say a personal statement and an adversity statement are not the same thing. And sometimes your adversity can make its way into a diversity statement, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily need to. Your adversity might have nothing to do with why you want to go to law school. Or it might have everything to do with why you want to go to law school. But even if your adversity has everything in the world to do with why you want to go to law school, you should try not to tell just one story in your personal statement. You are more than just a single narrative. You are a complete, complex, complicated, and wonderfully made person who has had both highs and lows in their life. And that's what I want you to really convey in your personal statement. Yes, you can talk about an adversity, especially if it's related to your why law, but also talk about some wins, some strengths, some other moments and opportunities. Your personal statement should have at least 2, if not 3 stories that ideally span a few different time spans so that they can see how you've grown and changed and developed over time. Now, that second point is that your personal statement, sometimes, if it's an adversity statement, can center someone else's story. What do I mean by that? Sometimes your personal statement is inextricably linked with a family member's story, or it's a story about something that happened to someone that you love, and you inadvertently tell their story. You talk about what they've overcome. You've talked about how hard life was for them, and by proxy you, but sometimes at the end you've really told us way more about them than you've told us about yourself. Well, they're not applying to law school. Ultimately, the law school admissions committees want to know about you. You want to make sure that you're centering yourself. What did you feel? What did you experience? What did you think? What did you do? How did you react? Notice I keep asking you about you. Now, when you're writing, just scan your personal statement. How many sentences has it been before you use the word I? That can be a good marker that maybe you're not centering yourself, or maybe you're centering an issue or a policy. But again, it's your personal statement, so you want to really be centering your experiences. This third point, and I know I've sort of mentioned it as we've gone along, is that sometimes when you talk about an adversity statement as your personal statement, you only highlight the things that you've gone through that are negative. You only highlight the struggle. And yes, it can be important to show grit and perseverance and the ability to stand up in the face of all odds and continue pursuing your dreams. Those are great qualities. But so is leadership and compassion. And so is the ability to research and take initiative and to be innovative and to be curious and to go against the grain. There are so many great qualities that you might not even be thinking of as strengths that law schools would love to hear about. Yes, of course, perseverance and grit are all great, but what else can you show me? If you are going to tell me an adversity story in your personal statement, can you also counterbalance that with a triumph story, a story of leadership, a story where we really get to see you shine? That would be a really great balance so that your essay isn't tilted to one side or the other. Think about your personal statement as telling a complete picture. It's so hard to capture all of who you are in 2 pages, but you can try to pack in a couple of stories so that they can see a few different sides of you. And each story should show a couple different qualities, a couple different nuggets of who you are as a person. So don't just reduce yourself to one adversity, one obstacle. I know I've seen those templates where it's like, okay, give some background, talk about the obstacle, talk about how you overcame it, talk about how this is going to be great for law school. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. You are more than just a single story narrative. So don't sell yourself short on your personal statement. You'll find on my website a completely free rubric to your personal statement. You can grab that checklist and it'll talk to you all about the do's and don'ts of writing a personal statement. And there'll also be an opportunity to get my outlining guide so you can really figure out how to structure your personal statement so that you can include all of those multiple stories that I think would be so wonderful in your personal statement. If you've liked this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so that you can always stay up to date on new videos that I put out. I don't believe that anyone has to do this journey alone. If you want help or guidance on this journey, feel free to reach out and join my free Facebook group where I hold free Q&A sessions just so I can talk to you guys and answer your questions. We will get you on the right path, I promise. I can't wait to meet you. I'll see you soon.